What is going on, everybody? Gonna do a eat like a man. Today we're gonna do a calzone, or as my neighbor pointed out, that it's a stromboli because of what I'm making it out of. To do this, I've got roughly 3/4 cup flour, pinch of salt, a little bit of garlic powder, not much. Then I'm gonna throw in some water. Gonna mix it up. That might be too much water. I'm just gonna make a dough ball. What I'm gonna wind up doing most likely is getting my hands in there. Ooh. Now this is just plain old enriched self-rising flour. And I don't know how much water I use. Maybe a couple of tablespoons. Doesn't take very much. Mistake you don't want to make is using too much water. Just gonna knead that in there for a couple of minutes. This needs to rise for a couple minutes, like 30. I am just gonna leave it set in the sun for a little bit. Then I'm gonna go on and get the rest of my stuff ready. That needs to set for maybe 30 minutes. So I'll probably take a 10-15 minute break and kind of just gather up everything I need to throw this thing together. But I'm really hungry and I really don't feel like waiting, but it is what it is, right? So yeah, let's get to waiting. Alright, for the rest of this recipe I am going to be using some onion, which I shall chop up, some broccoli, which I will saute with said onion after I chop it up, and a chunk of leftover grilled ribeye that I will chop up. Let's get to chopping while the dough is over there resting, rising on its own for 30 minutes or so, give or take. Let's take a look at it, see what it looks like now. It's only been 5 minutes, what the heck. Alright, let's get to chopping. Good enough. Now there's a reason we call this eat like a man, not eat like a something else. We use man-sized tools and man-sized portions. So now I'm going to chop up the steak. I don't know if I can do this with one hand. Let's see. I guess that's one of the benefits of using a knife that weighs 30 pounds is it cuts right through whatever you lay it on. Yeah, and the rest of that can go for leftovers for something else. I'm going to put one more slice on there. Let's see how good this stuff still is. Good ribeye. So, quick recap. For this recipe, calzone stromboli thingy I'm making, we are going to be doing this outside, which is typical eat like a man fashion. So I got my fire, chopped up onion, chopped up grilled ribeye, medium if you notice it's pink, chopped up broccoli, and a blend of mozzarella, Monterey Jack, sharp cheddar, and whatever is in the Mexican blend cheese, and some cilantro. And we are going to be using my little Lodge cast iron Sportsman grill, and for an oven I'm going to be using my Lodge two-piece skillet Dutch oven thingy. I'm not sure exactly what it is called, but I got my fire going, I got my dough rising in a warm spot on my deck, and I am getting really hungry. I've cut up all the ingredients. I'm freaking starving. All the ingredients are in danger of being eaten before they're cooked. That's why I don't do s'mores. I eat all the ingredients by themselves because I can't, I'm too impatient to make the s'more. That's just me. That fire is almost ready to cook on. It's too hot to get close to. You can see all the little sparks coming out of it. Once the charcoal is ready to cook on, I'm going to throw some skillets on it. Get them warm enough, and then start preheating the stuffing for my calzone stromboli thingy. I don't even want to know what to call it at this point. Just wait for the fire to die down now. It might be here a little while. It's not quite ready yet, but I don't know if I mentioned this. I'm hungry. I don't feel like waiting. So I'm gonna go ahead and dump this out. And I should have worn gloves because that's really stinking hot. Ouch. And a piece fell out and is burning a hole in my deck, and I can't do anything about it because I forgot to wear gloves. All right, so I've dumped my coals in my little grill. Got my skillet on. I'm gonna start getting it really hot. Once it gets hot, I'll dump my the vegetables and a little bit of meat I'm gonna put in there. And once that's done, I'll dump those out back into one of the bowls, and I'll get this portion of the cast iron as hot as I can possibly get it, because I'm gonna turn this into an oven. Now, one of the things I do for Eat Like a Man is I do this live. Not live as in I'm on the air, but live as in I've never done this before, and what you see is what you get. Errors, mistakes, all that good stuff. There's no fakery, no trickery. There's no I'll throw this on and then, hey, there's one I already prepared in the fridge or in the oven that I did earlier. No, this is as you see it. There's going to be some heavy editing, but yeah, I've never tried this before. Warts and all, this is cooking, eating, Eat Like a Man style. We're going to live it and see how it works out. But yeah, every time you see me do one of these, that's how it's working. I haven't done it before. I have a simple idea in my head of what I want to accomplish, but beyond that, I have no clue. I'm going to see if this works or not. The dough's about ready. Another 10 minutes or so. My heat source keeps going behind those trees up there. We should cut it out. Make up its mind. Either warm up my food for me or go away and make me find another way to warm my food up. Stop teasing me, dang it. I got my skillet getting hot. I'm gonna dump in the broccoli first. All right, so I've dumped in the broccoli first. Once it starts to go a darker color, it's done. And I can throw everything else in. All right, I've got my broccoli the dark green I want it to be. So I can dump everything else in. Let's see if I can do this one-handed. Mostly. Got a couple pieces left. Just want to get it hot. And I'm going to pull it off the fire, the skillet back on, and let it get stupid hot. Man, that smells good. Some metal spatula on cast iron. They say don't do that, I suppose, because you're digging into the finish. I'm all about abusing my stuff. This stuff's going to outlast me. I can always refinish it. Alright, I'm going to have to put the camera down. I'm going to scoop this out back into a bowl and let it rest for a little bit, I suppose is the word for it. Let the flavors kind of congeal a bit. And then I'm going to start working on the dough. Oh yeah, that's a good fire down there. Listen to that noise. So let's get to the dough after I scoop this out and let it set for a second. Be right back. Now what I want to do is get this as hot as I can possibly get it. Do that, taking the grate off. I put it right over the coals, and I actually put a chunk of hickory in there. So this is actually going to make this thing smell really, really good when I wash it out and put it back on my shelf. Every time I use it from this point onward, it's going to smell like hickory and impart some of that hickory flavor to my food. This is part of the oven bit. The bit I'm going to be cooking on the bottom is sitting off to the side. It's kind of warm. I'm going to put the Stromboli Calzone thing in it over the heat, and then with this bit on top, it should act like an oven. It should get good and hot in there, and I should only need to cook it for 10 or 15 minutes ish. We'll see what happens. Let's get the dough out for right now and start working it. All right, so the dough is as done as it's gonna get. I'm gonna put it on here. I'm gonna start mashing it flat. I'm going to put the camera down for a little bit to do some of this. You'll get the idea once I'm done. Put a thin layer of my cheese on here. Alright, just catch what I did there. Basically poured all my ingredients in, folded it over, made a couple holes, fixed a couple of holes. I don't know who he is or what he's shrieking about, but he needs to cut it out. Let's film in here. It's ready to go on the fire now. I'm gonna swap that thing around somewhere. I don't know where I'm gonna set it. It is really stinking hot right now. If it'll fart it around, see what we get. All right, so got my calzone stromboli thing in the skillet. Throw a little bit more cheese on top of that, just because. And then this thing here has come fresh off. It's really hot. Put it on top like that. And that hopefully is going to act like an oven and cook the top. And the fire underneath will cook the bottom. About 15 minutes, we'll know. I'm going to have to go find something else to distract me for 15 minutes to keep me from continuing to take the cover off of this and peeking at it. The old saying goes, if you're looking, you ain't cooking. Let's stop looking and go do something else for 15 minutes or so. Don't know if I can do that. Be right back. All right, I actually had to flip it. It wasn't cooking well enough on its own in the oven. I had to flip it. It is what it is. Wasn't working out, and that is the nature of what I do. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work, and I'm going to tell you it didn't work. However, if it does work, yeah, it's still going to work. It's still going to work. It's still going to be awesome. Planned it and go as planned. Just didn't have a way to keep that that oven hot enough, long enough. Flip it, I did. It is what it is, right? Que sera, sera. It's been a couple minutes, 10-ish. I don't know if I've mentioned this before in this video while I've been doing this, but I am hungry, and when I am hungry, I become impatient. I'm gonna take the lid off this thing, I'm gonna pull it out, and I'm gonna eat it. I don't care what it looks like, what it smells like. Pretty confident it's gonna taste amazing. Yeah, let's go ahead and take the lid off. That looks really good. Actually, I am pleased with that. Now I'm gonna get it out of there, and since I flipped it and I had cheese on top of it when I flipped it, it's gonna make a mess, but I don't care. Ooh, it's coming right out. What's it look like on the bottom? That's some baked cheese. Looks pretty good. Now let's cut into it. See what it looks like inside. I'm gonna cut right down the middle. That looks really, really good. Did I mention that I'm hungry? Oops, sorry about that. This has been a John's Junk Eat Like a Man. I am going to stuff that entire thing in my face, one bite at a time, however, without further ado. Thanks so much for watching. Have a good one. Get in your own kitchen or outside or wherever it is you do your thinking and making stuff, and make something. See ya.